Deepwoken has the worst community on Roblox. This is probably not a controversial statement, even if I think it is a bit of an over-exaggeration. About a week ago, I made a video talking about the Deepwoken community and my least favorite parts of it, especially in relation to the game going free, which now has a set window. Deepwoken's free week event will take place starting on May 1st and last 1 week worth of time. In today's video, I want to go over some of the responses I got from that last video and the reasoning behind certain things like Purge Week that some players are using to justify toxicity within Deepwoken. Along with that, I released a new video on the live channel, so go check that out after you watch this video. It's really good. I put a lot of time into it. Go watch that video or I'm gonna kill you. Along with that, I also dropped a song cover right before this video available to YouTube members of every tier, so if you want to, then buy a YouTube membership and check that out. And I'll be live at twitch.tv/Reaconteur 20 minutes after this video goes up, so check me out over there once you're done with this video. Now let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first and the absolute worst argument I was given in response to why Purge Week was a good thing was from the comments of the last video. Someone said, "It'll provide a good experience to weed out those who aren't dedicated enough to play the game." First F word of the video, upcoming parents, cover your children's ears. Fuck off. This is the lamest loser nerd shit I've ever seen in my entire life. It'll weed out the undedicated. You fat nerd, why don't you get dedicated to the gym or a job or something productive? If people want to try out the game, they have the right to, and you shouldn't go around just killing freshies to weed out the undedicated. God, that sounds so stupid. I had to actually delete that comment before making this video because the guy who left it was gonna get harassed. 3 times as much as he already was because that comment was flooded with replies. And along with that, a lot of people were saying, but getting jumped as a freshie is just the new player experience. Since when? Like, actually, I have been jumped by power 20s as a freshie so few times. I remember literally all of them, and it's happened to me maybe like 2 or 3 times. And both times, yeah, I came back on a max power all, but that's not the point. Getting ganked while progressing is not that common because nobody at power 20 needs anything from you. And one person even tried to say, well, when Deepwoken first came out, it was chaos. Shut the fuck up. That's the second one for this video. We will remain PG-13. But please shut up. You did not play Deepwoken when it first came out. You are LARPing. You are lying. Guys, I used the word LARPing properly. Did I do it right? Is that LARPing? Is that how I use it? Sorry, I sound like an old man. But if you did, then you would know that this was literally the most peaceful time in Deepwoken history, with the second being layer 2. Nobody was fighting. Literally nobody was fighting, because everyone wanted to explore and play the game and find new stuff and discover monsters and stuff. At worst, you'd find a random freshie attacking people who'd probably never become good at the game anyway and probably quit. The only time in which gripping freshies has ever become normalized was during the first Purge Week, which was started by Always AFK, and even he regrets doing it. I feel like the first Purge Week was kind of a catalyst that set off the Deepwoken community into becoming more toxic, because before that I feel like a majority of Deepwoken players would just, you know, leave you alone most of the time outside of actual large-scale ganks, which were usually guild-related anyway. But then Always AFK was like, yeah, go kill everyone you see, and then toxic losers took it as an excuse to grip freshies whenever they wanted to make someone's day worse without benefiting them in the slightest. And I don't even think Always AFK meant for it to be like that, because Always AFK did it for content, so that way people would be ganking in the overworld more, because Chime of Conflict kind of dominated the game then, and still does today, making the overworld really boring and made fights pretty boring and one-dimensional, since you could really only fight in Chime of Conflict seriously. Purge Week, which Always AFK started, was meant to be a week of fighting in the overworld, but it didn't just mean kill all freshies, it meant fight anyone you see who looks like they're worth fighting. Just fight, like, just have fun with it. Not stop freshies from progressing and ruin the game for new players. That's not what it was, which is why he regrets it, because so many people in the Deepwoken community misinterpreted what he meant by Purge Week. Along with that, a lot of people just misplaced their anger with the whole thing. Like, yeah, the game going free for a week might cause a rise in exploiters, but why are you killing new players because of that exactly? I've seen multiple people in the Discord say that they're gripping every freshie they see because of how many cheaters there's gonna be on the game. What? If someone is cheating, you probably won't be able to kill them, and you probably won't even get to see them up close. How exactly does killing every new player you see, 95% of which aren't going to be cheating, help you deal with the fact that a lot of people might be making new accounts to cheat on Deepwoken? Like really? Like, did you guys even think about that before thinking about, like, why you're doing that? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why are people going out of their way to bother new players and people who simply want to try out the game for the first time? Like, that has nothing to do with cheaters. People talk about how the player base is declining and how there aren't any new players coming into the game. I wonder why. You guys can't even let new players just try out the game without turning the free week event into a purge week event where you guys kill every fresh spawn you see. If you guys want the game to have more players and you want it to do well, stop being the most unwelcoming community ever. Lots of Deepwoken players love to make Deepwoken their entire miserably annoying personality, then proceed to gatekeep it and participate in purge weeks where they only get rip freshies and not the people who you're actually supposed to be fighting. Meanwhile, you talk about it any chance you get. It's lame. And it's even lamer because most of the people who are saying to make it a purge week are saying specifically to grip freshies. So they'll leave high level players alone, but then they'll see a freshie and then they'll go kill them. That's boring, lame behavior. You're a loser. And then there's even more people who just can't read. In the last video, I literally explained why Deepwoken going free, which is potentially permanent, which, you know, might doesn't mean that it will be permanent, but it could become permanent in the future. And people were talking about how they wasted money. And I had to explain that just because you bought the game 2 years ago and the game is free now, doesn't mean you wasted money. And yet I had people telling me it did. And the dumbest part is the developers already said that they'd give paid players something free to make them stand out amongst those who joined post-free release, which is just like the dumbest thing ever, that people are like, oh, but I wasted money. No, you didn't. You didn't waste money if you played the game 2 years before it became free, or even a month before it came free. And it's $4. It's not that serious. And the dumbest thing I saw some dumbass, absolute idiot crying in Deepwoken Discord general saying, why did they make a free week? Give me my Robux back. You moron. You even said it's a week, not permanent. You said in your message, why did they make a free week? Do you not know what a week is? Do you not know what a week's worth of time is, huh? Or are you rage baiting? Or are you just that stupid? I'm sorry, that one really pissed me off, but it was so stupid to see, and I just couldn't understand why people act like this. It's infuriating. And another reason, but it's actually a new reason that I saw, was from a group of Europeans talking about how their region servers are always so full, and making the game free would mean that there are no more servers, and he'd be forced to play in North America servers. What? That's just not how it works. I saw a guy arguing this for like an hour in the Deepwoken Discord. I didn't even say anything to him. I just watched it all happen. That just isn't how server allocation works. If you can't find a server, at least in your own specific region, because they're all completely or mostly full, Roblox makes new servers for your region. Full servers also just don't automatically happen. Roblox likes leaving a few player slots worth of space in servers, so usually servers only fill when people join a specific server. A server will not fill on its own off of random players. A server will only fill off of friend joins, which it tries to prioritize you to put you in your friend servers, which is why they have spaces in these extra servers. And it's also going to be filled up by people purposely joining that specific server. But, you know, just because there's more people playing doesn't mean they're going to fill up all the European servers. That's not how it works. Now, the only two valid arguments I saw on the entirety of my last video were regarding microtransactions in Deepwoken, and then the game not necessarily being ready for a free release in its current state because it wouldn't be the best playing experience. So let's go over these. First of all, microtransactions. Essentially, Archmage has stated before that the main source of income for the game is player account buying and new players. So they make most of their money off of people joining for the first time than any other singular source. So the concern is that if Deepwoken goes free, then they'd have to monetize the game in other ways to fund updates, and the concern comes with the game becoming pay to win due to additions that they add for profit. Now, I have talked with Agamatsu about this a little bit, and he said he wouldn't want them to add anything pay to win into the game now that he's the owner, and if anything, they'd just add skins for specific weapons, or maybe some cosmetics that people could pay for as a way to continue funding the game for updates without outright making it unfair or pay to win for those willing to spend money on the game, or maybe like race cosmetics or skins like that. So hopefully they would abide by that and keep it fair. Now, as for the other argument, the game might not be ready for a free week due to bugs and issues with the game performance. Spicy Nooder. Now, I'm actually not sure about this one, but I have been seeing this sentiment a lot recently, and it's hard to tell if it's actually because the game has that many issues, or if it's just because Deepwoken players love to echo the same negative opinions as much as they can. I don't ever really experience performance issues in-game because my PC is built for streaming and recording, but on lower-end devices it may become an issue that I'm just blissfully unaware of, but I wouldn't be aware of it because it's not something that could ever affect me. As far as bugs go, I feel like most of them wouldn't be noticed by Deepwoken players outside of the boat stuff, if any. A lot of the bugs in game are pretty specific and happen only in pretty specific scenarios that most new players probably wouldn't be in anyway. The only bugs that really seem prominent are ones with boats, especially since Rock the Boat V2 just came out, meaning that there's potentially more boat bugs than there were before since the whole physics engine changes that come with that update. Like the first Rock the Boat update might be major and they might have caused some bugs to, you know, just form during the coding of all that stuff. Now, other than these, there are basically no valid reactions for the community to be acting like the game going free for literally only a week is such a terrible event, and even the most valid reasons are way more long-term than free week, and therefore still aren't a valid reason to purge or, you know, just me or keep the community this annoying and toxic. If you want the game to get new players and you want to keep it alive, then stop being the most annoying group of people on the entire platform for once. It's so bad the developers are actually adding a new oath in which you help new players progress along with the drop of the first free week, just so that way it won't be as miserable for new players trying out the game for the first time, because maybe they'll have some people helping them because of this new oath drop, right? Because all this Purge Week shit is literally just going to make the game unplayable for new players, and I don't think that's fair. That's stupid, and if you're participating in Purge Week, you're a loser. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments on this situation, leave them down below. I read every comment, and shout out to my YouTube members of tier 2 or higher: Green, Philip, Delusional Mo, Broccoli, Akio Sugikuni, Fun Gun, Xerxes, I Can Be, Unigeo, and Drizzy Drake Fan. But if you just want to hear my song covers, which I just released a new one, then buy any tier membership. But, you know, the shoutouts only for tier 2 or higher. So if you want a shout out, then I don't know, buy tier 2 or higher. But if you don't want a shout out, you just want to hear my music, song covers, I drop one a month usually. I'll be dropping another one in like a week or two because I want to get this one done fast. But yeah, anyway, go check out my live channel where I put the fun videos up. I enjoy making the live channel videos more, so I think they're more fun. So go watch those. Have an amazing day as usual. I love you all, and goodbye.